Hi, this is Mike with MGK Pools. You can find my blog at poolservicema.com, and we're here today to talk to you about above ground pool reviews and comparisons. Right up front, let me apologize, we are not videographers. We're just trying to get some information to you to help you choose the right pool for your family and for your budget. On the board here we have a few different above ground pools to talk about. So this is quality, value, all that stuff here. So Intex pools are the least expensive, and so in order we go from Intex, rolled wall steel, rolled wall aluminum. We'll get into that a bit later. And then we have slat wall pools or panel pools. These are going to be the premium pools. And so we're going to break down, well, not the Intex so much, but the rolled wall, steel and aluminum, and the slat wall pools. We're going to show you some of the construction and how to choose the best pool. The thing to remember about above ground pools, the thing that goes, the thing that's going to, you're going to have to scrap the pool. If something goes wrong, it's going to be the wall. So the strength of the wall is going to be the most important aspect of your new above ground pool. At the top of our board we have Intex pools. Lots of value in an Intex pool. They're a very inexpensive pool to purchase, very inexpensive pool to set up. On the pros we have, you're not going to need a contractor. All you need is a nice level area. I mean, if you need to bring somebody in to level out an area with a skid steer or something, you can. But you're not going to have to hire an electrician to run a service, to bond the pool like you would with a traditional steel or aluminum above ground pool. So lots of value there. The negatives, the filter that usually comes with the pool is undersized. So I would recommend, if you do go with Intex pool, that you upgrade the filter to something a little more substantial so you're not spending time cleaning it. They have a weak, unstable ladder. That's something else that you can find and upgrade that ladder so it's easier to get in and out, that something a little more stable. Also something on the safety side, that when the pool's not in use, something that can be removed so that you have a barrier to entry, that some adult or somebody has to put a ladder. And while we're on the safety side, let's also talk about wall height. So the wall height is paramount, because you don't want toddlers to be able to just topple into the pool that can't swim, can't maintain themselves. And it may not be your toddler, it could be a neighbor's kid just running around the neighborhood, somehow got away from his parents. Kids are quick. So it'd be best, first of all, Intex pools, the newest one is the Ultra Frame, and you want one of the latest model Ultra Frames. So like if you buy one, get a 2019 or a 2018. Don't buy old stock on Amazon. But what you want to do is you want to get a tall one, get like a 48-inch wall, so that there's a barrier to entry and nobody's going to accidentally fall in the pool. So that's about it. The only other thing I'd mention on the plus side, on the pros, is that with an Intex pool, salt's all in vogue. It's so popular. Everybody, oh, can I put a salt generator on this? Can I? Salt is the devil, okay? So Mama said salt is the devil. It's corrosive to any kind of metal. There's no getting around it. There's ways to mitigate it, which means to lessen the damage. But when you spend thousands of dollars on a pool, you don't want to put on something that's going to make you need to buy another pool. But Intex has a soft-sided pool, basically made of plastic or vinyl or something like that, that does not rot with salt. So if you want to have that salt feel, you want that chlorine generator, Intex might be the way to go for you. I just did my Intex clip, and I have an afterthought on that. I just wanted to talk about a couple other things. Even the pool I recommend, the Ultra Frame, like a 48-inch, round, not oval. Round pools are better. Arches, they're stronger, so you don't want to have straight sides especially on an inexpensive, splash pool. But so the two things is, one, like if you get like a 24 round Ultra Frame pool, you're going to have like 10,000 gallons of water, or close to it, 8 to 10,000 gallons of water that you have to get rid of every year, because these pools cannot withstand winter. They have to be drained every year. They have to be torn down, and then they have to be set back up. And like I said, even the best Intex, the Ultra Frame, you're going to get 3 to 5 years. I mean, for the money, the value is incredible. I mean, you're just, you know, for a temporary pool to see if your family are pool people, great introduction pool and great value. Next on our list is rolled wall. And rolled wall pools, these are permanent pools. You set them up. You don't have to drain the water out of them. They make up probably 90% of the whole market. And so we're talking about sheet steel. This is just like a half wall, just a little small sample section. But we're talking about sheet steel that comes on a roll, and you roll it out, you know, however big your pool is, and this is your wall. So I just want to show you, I got a quarter on me here. I just want to show you the thickness of this wall as compared to this quarter. So if you look at this right here, the wall is not even thicker than the quarter. So, and then what they do, I don't know if you saw that, but it's corrugated. So they run this through a corrugator to get this thing, because when you bend metal, it's stronger. So if you could picture this down to the ground from here, this is just a small piece, but when you have this piece all the way down to the ground, you don't want to set this pool up on a windy day. This stuff moves around. So that's what a rolled wall pool is. It's just a big coil that you roll the wall out. And so then there's the difference between steel and aluminum. Steel is going to make up probably 80% of the above ground market. And the thing to watch out for with steel's going to rust. It's going to rust. So you want to look at the grade, the thickness, the treating, the coating. And this isn't stuff that you can really compare because nobody's going to tell you the thickness of the wall. Everybody comes up with a branding, cute name for their coating. But just know that, you know, you want to buy good quality U.S. steel from a good pool manufacturer, right? So we got a lot of cheap Canadian steel, Asian steel flooding the market. It's recycled steel. This is the kind of stuff you find in big box stores on cheap pools. You're like, well, that price is great. The price is great because the wall is going to rot out in 1 to 3 years. As soon as the wall has a pinhole in it, the pressure of the water is going to push the liner through the wall. You're going to start with a leak. So I see people all the time, they buy these pools, they've got trash cans for walls, garbage bags for liners, they're so thin, and then within 1 to 3 years, oh, we need a liner. So you put the liner in. As an installer, I go in, I put some duct tape on the wall over the pinholes, I put the new liner in. Within a couple years, it's even worse. Usually around the skimmer opening where the water comes into the filter, and the return where the water comes back to the pool, those areas there rust out bad. So steel, if you're going to go, the difference between steel and aluminum is probably $400 or $500. So if you're going to go with a rolled wall pool and you can afford the extra $500, it goes, you know, it'll probably get you another 15 to 25 years out of your pool. A good steel, good quality steel, good treated Thunder Maker will last, you know, 15 to 20 years, that pool. And I'll talk about brands and who to buy from in another video, but in this one I just want to introduce you to the difference between rolled wall pools and what we're about to show you next, which is slat wall panel, i.e. premium pools. Alright, here we have 2 samples of 2 high-end pools, 2 premium pools. These are rolled wall pools. They got the Thunder Makers, right? This one's actually steel, and this one here is aluminum. So some differences, besides the wall being steel and aluminum, what you'll find is that some pools are now resin or plastic, and they're going to have these uprights here that are also called verticals. And then up top here you have the top caps that join where the top rails or top plates join together as they go around the pool. Now these are, you know, these are shorter than normal. They'd normally be about 4 feet apart from cap to cap. So your top rails are 4 feet apart. Your stanchions or verticals or these here are going to be 4 feet apart. Your bottom plates are going to be sitting on probably patio block, 4 feet apart, going all the way around. So I just wanted to say that while these things are important, they are the framing of the pool, the wall is the most important thing. And I just want to take you now, right? So I want to take you from our aluminum, our steel, again, coiled roll wall pool. Like I said, when you have a 48-inch sheet or 52-inch sheet of this coil, don't install it on a windy day. Let me grab a slat wall pool here. All right, this is the Aquasport 52. Right, this is constructed every 4 inches. These are just panels like this one here. They're just 4 inches. They have a bead and a receiver, and they slide together to form these 1-inch columns. I don't know if you can see it here, but these 1-inch columns here is where the bead and receiver come together. And this pool here, an oil truck drove into one of these walls. I mean, they're tough. You can see, I mean, I'm mashing it with a hammer here, but like this wall is literally indestructible. That oil truck that rolled into one of these walls, we had to replace 4 panels, which we could do. Obviously, a one-piece rolled wall, you got to do the whole wall. You can't patch it or anything like that. But this pool here, tree limb comes down, goes through it. Call us up. We send you out a few panels, and you're back in the game. But again, the strength of this, especially these buttresses, this is a buttress here, similar to this here. Buttresses, like, forget about it, but it's slat wall pools are night and day. The next pool I'm going to introduce you to is the Optimum, and it's a panel pool. It's a much larger panel instead of the 4-inch panels that give you these 1-inch vertical columns for strength. Let me just introduce you to it. Hi, so one quick thing I wanted to show you, this afterthought, is that the thickness of one of the Aquasport 52 panels, right? You saw it with the rolled wall, and now, I mean, this is going to be, I mean, you could put this together on a windy day. But I just wanted to show you, same quarter. I'd say it's probably just as thick as the quarter. So where the other pool was definitely thinner, this much smaller panel is actually just as thick as my quarter. It's just a regular old quarter. I don't know. Nowadays these things are a little different. I couldn't tell a real quarter anymore. But yeah, so just a quick afterthought. These panels, they're even thicker than the rolled wall, and then when they go together with the bead and the receiver and they lock in together, they form these thick channels that that's why this pool is like a 40-50 year pool, and you can build a deck over it and not have to worry about it coming down or rotting out. Aluminum, Aquasport's also aluminum. Aluminum will oxidize, but it won't rust. So aluminum oxidizes a lot slower than aluminum oxidizes a lot slower than steel rusts. You're mowing your lawn with a steel pool and you kick a rock off the wall and chip the paint, the coating, boom, you got a bullet hole burning its way through your wall. So if you do go steel, there's a tip. Treat it like a car. Wax it. You know, every year you can take a walk around the pool, you see any chip, you can sand it, you can hit it with a little enamel paint, but also it's not a bad idea to wax a steel pool. So just an afterthought. I just wanted to show you the thickness of that Aquasport 52 panel. Pool I want to introduce to you is the Optimum. We can check out the thickness with a quarter. No, I'm kidding. The Optimum is also, there's another pool called the Radiant. Basically the exact same build, assembled the exact same way. This is actually the top rail. It doesn't get any thicker. They do have an optional coping that could go on top of the wall after you build it. This one is you know, about 3.5 inches wide, where this one's like 2.5 inches wide. So I mean, this is more attractive. I think I would go with this for top track or coping. It's more of a coping with this pool. But so what they've done here is they've taken 2 pieces of aluminum, and you may notice this Optimum wall sample has been used as a whiteboard. So what they do is, these panels, if you look at these 2 together, this is about the size of 1 panel. Now they did this for a display, but the panel is usually this big. But we get to see how they go together. So there's this stuff here, this channel. They go together really simple. So there is a plate that would connect the 2 down below, and then this here, I don't have enough room in here, but this basically slides, oh maybe I do actually. This slides between the 2 of these panels and locks them together, and then there's another one of these, basically the same thing, goes on the back side and locks the back side together, and then it just kind of locks them together. Now the thing about this pool, right, this Optimum or Radiant, this used to be known as a Dover pool way back when. Patent expired, Radiant picked it up. It's really getting quite popular. They market it really well as an insulated pool wall that's easier to keep warm. And so there's styrofoam in between 2 pieces of aluminum. So, I mean, this styrofoam here, I can just, you know, picture like rodents getting in and nesting in this stuff, and then you have nothing keeping this aluminum apart. But if you put it in the ground, I don't think it's ever going to fail. This pool can go semi-in-ground, completely in-ground. It can go on-ground, same as the Aquasport 52. But I want to show you something about the thickness of this wall. So it looks like, oh my God, this is such a, you know, a robust wall. But I bent up some of the, there's that bar. I bent some of this wall up to see how thick it actually is with my quarter comparison. And I'll try and pick this thing up. So I don't know if you can make that out, but I mean, it's really thin aluminum. And I have seen where during the winter, these pools, the water freezes, and even in my sample, I mean, this sample I've only had a little, I apologize for the dirt in all my samples, but yeah, there's even a little indent here, but I've seen some pictures of where, you know, when you winterize this pool, you lower the water down, and the freeze line puts a dent in the wall. So, I mean, this is a really robust pool. This generally costs more than the Aquasport 52, which, I mean, based on thickness, design, I gotta put the Aquasport 52, you know, way above this pool. People love it, so I sell it. You can find it online everywhere. Like I said, I think the Optimum is a better pool than the Radiant. Exact same look, assembled the exact same way, but Wilbar redid it. And I know they're using, like, I don't know if you can make out all the glue they use on this, but Wilbar, the company manufacturing the Optimum, is using a much more environmentally safe and friendly glue to put this together. So, Dan, what are you trying to say?
I was going to say, I'll lean it forward a little bit. The glare is blocking the glue.
Oh, okay. So, is that better?
That's much better.
You can see the glue there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they're using an environmentally friendly glue. And I apologize, it's cold out here. This is the time of year where we have to do videos. So I keep wiping my nose and sniffling. But, so this is the Optimum panel pool. And so now you've seen rolled wall pools. We've talked about Intex pools. The Aquasport 52. There's one other slat wall pool, and it's quite attractive. Let me just keep this shot rolling. And so I want to throw this up here. this is another Wilbar pool. It's been around for a long time. Pool Factory, I think, sells it as the Intrepid. It's also known as the Oasis and like the Blue Hawaiian. It's got a lot of names. It's another slat wall pool. So again, this is a really tiny sample, but you could see they're doing like the 4-inch panel thing. I won't hit this one with a hammer. This is way better than a rolled wall pool. But, you know, these are usually like 4 or 5 feet apart. So this is mostly what you're going to see. This that looks so robust over here is really the buttress. So this is the majority of the wall. So, I mean, if you compare that to the robustness of the Aquasport 52, and I just do this comparison because that pool costs the same. So, you know, this is a much more rugged pool, the Aquasport 52. So I just want you to compare and contrast, because online, you know, you're looking at pictures, but you can't really see the thickness of like the hardware that goes into like this pool right here. I mean, this hardware is just ridiculous. These plates are super, here's my quarter, they're super crazy thick. You know, when you compare that to this pool, which is a great pool, head and shoulders above rolled wall pools, right? If you get into the construction here, you know, they got tiny little screws, and it holds it together, and little plates, you know, this little plate in here, it holds it together well, but it's on a different level. But again, the weird thing is that this pool cost as much, which is why I don't sell it. I'd love to. It's a semi-in-ground pool. People would love it, but it's aluminum. I love aluminum. Always talking up aluminum. And it's got a really strong top rail for sure. But again, it's supported here with plastic, whereas if we go back to the Aquasport 52, we have aluminum, boxed aluminum, supporting these top rails. You could tell kids not to walk on the top rails. You know you're gonna tell them not to run. You're gonna tell them not to walk on top rails. You can't stop them. So, you know, so that's it. That's the Intrepid, the Optimum / Radiant, the Aquasport 52, and like I said, 80% of the market are these pools right here. Now this is a premium, you know, Thundermaker. You know, it has 8-inch top rails. It's really, you know, they think bigger is better. Down in Texas, they make everything bigger. But, you know, in here you can see all the work they do in here on the resin to reinforce it and make that top rail straighter, stronger. And again, I apologize. I've had these samples for years, kicking around my van, dragging them out. But you can compare this resin pool right here to its little brother right here, and you know, it's just not as robust a plastic. So these are, you know, you got to know what you're paying for. And just in closing, I want to say that the most important thing, especially if you go with a rolled wall pool, one, aluminum's better than steel. It's going to last probably 20 years longer, which just means a lot less headaches. So that's one. You know, steel's going to rust, but you want to, if you go steel, which I'm not knocking steel. Steel's been around forever. Steel framing, too, is still around. You can still get steel framing. But just make sure you're getting quality U.S. steel so that you get the value, because otherwise, you know, you can run into some problems. So MGK Pools, this has been our above ground pool review. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave some comments below. Please not about like me wiping my nose or the video or the sound or the warehouse. But if you have any questions about the quality of these different kinds of pools, I'd be happy to answer those. Thank you very much.